Heyo, Eyesore the Clown, back at it again with the Weezer reviews. Today on the Weezer Slab, I have Weezer's Summer EP. It's the second release out of 4 of the Weezer Seasons project, and I've already reviewed the one before it, and the one after it. So let's get this seasonal middle child out of the way before Weezer concludes the project with winter later this year. Overall, the album is good, probably my favorite out of the Seasons EPs so far. It has a sort of mythos to it that really compels me and a dorky punk energy that I oh so love to see in my Weezer products, with a bit of mediocrity in the center, and what I believe to be one of the greatest Weezer album covers of all time. The album opens with the track Lawn Chair, a short but effective track. It opens with this whimsical tale of an angel in heaven. Then all of a sudden it just twisted to the prospect of God's angels torturing mankind out of boredom. And when I first heard that, I was completely shocked. Summer came in and completely throws out the joy of spring, replacing it with this sort of perplexing frustration towards religion and one's self-image. In this, Rivers sings about a sort of hypocrisy towards the Christian God, calling him a punk ass. Oh my God, there is no doubt. Pointing out how he would do such horrid things to people, sacrifice his own son, and expect praise. Ending with a question to God, asking why he took his mother's kid away, as she never hurt no one. It's a huge surprise attack in terms of tone and context for the project, and makes me curious as to the perspective the band is trying to take on it. Whether it be a sort of narrative in place with the project, or rather Rivers' own personal gripes. Either way, it's a chilling and punctual start to the EP, and always leaves me with slight unease when giving it a re-listen. After such a powerful message of a song, Rivers follows it up with Records, which I could only call a post-Pacific Daydream Rivers track that is really corny but catchy, and while I wish for something more serious, I like it regardless. And by God, is that not a huge case of tonal fucking whiplash? Like going from a cry of anger towards God to singing about having Rihanna songs stuck in your head? While I hate its placement on this EP, I do like the song on its own. It's corny yet relatable, I suppose. Blue Like Jazz comes next and sinks back into the tone of Summer, continuing the sort of frustration with one's environment and self, this time more focusing on the self as the narrator sings about his envy for someone's look and feel, where the narrator cites how incompetent he is in comparison, how he can't look like that, play 16th notes like that, be blue like jazz, and ask how can he be like that. Opposite of Me is seemingly a sort of follow-up to Blue Like Jazz, and is sort of this battle cry to no longer take one's tyranny and stand up for oneself. The beat is largely optimistic, but a little look at the lyrics suggests a turn to darkness, involving revolt, murder, and other misdeeds. Some even suggesting it's this idea of Jesus revolting against God, citing being left on the mountainside and the narrator comparing himself to a welcome mat which one wipes their feet, lining up with the concept that Jesus dies for one's sin so they can witness forgiveness or something like that. What's the point of being good is mediocre. It's melancholic, kind of a downer, but lacks a punch or point that makes it really feel like a needed addition to the EP. That said, it isn't bad. Just meh. It mentions a sort of betrayal towards the end of the song that could relate to Opposite of Me, about a best friend stabbing you in the back, but other than that, it kind of just exists. Cuomoville drags itself down to the analogy world that is probably Rome, and sings about the building a new city, a surrogate for heaven, and living comfortably until death. Then during the bridge, suddenly the track gets tense as the narrator chants to feed them to the lions, get a taste of your own medicine, which I'm assuming is referring to throwing Romans into the pit, since that's something Romans did to Christians, I think. Then the EP closes out with what I will legitimately call my favorite song period right now, that being Thank You and Good Night. It's a straight up rock ballad that tells the story of someone going from mockery to idolization as they find a way to fly through the sky. The guitar hits so hard here, and the song is a sort of optimistic success story after an EP full of wanting to change and escape a situation. Thank you and good night is the perfect conclusion, a wave goodbye that sets up such a powerful emotion and understanding of how it feels to rise to an occasion. A lot of this is bias, I must admit. This song of flying through the sky makes me feel empowered myself, but since this is my review, I will say how I feel about it. So, yeah, whatever. But like I said, I do believe this to be the strongest Weezer closer ever. Its pungent riffs and proper send-off to the emotional beats of the summer EP makes my feelings about the song keep flying higher and higher, even if it's a bit cornier than a closer like Only in Dreams. Overall, Summer is my favorite from this project so far, and is a truly heightened follow-up to Spring. I feel like this could have went from great to amazing if they had cut out some of the tonally awkward tracks, such as Records, feeding my desire for this to have just been one single album release instead of 4 EPs, but regardless of ways it could have been improved, this seasonal package is definitely really good. If I had to rate it, I'd say it's a decent being betrayed by your holy deity, then deciding to get naked as a sign of rebellion, running around with a pair of scissors, but in a way that's kind of cool and not a sign of insanity. Anyway, Eyesore the Clown, signing out. Eyesore the Clown quickly unsigning out to say, hey guys, this is my third of the season review, and there's only one more left to do. Now, this is the second EP release, but due to funky life stuff, I'm just now doing this one after doing the third one, but that's okay. You know, if you wanted to watch this, I mean, I guess you'll want to watch it regardless of when it was released. I don't know. But thank you for tuning in this far. My plan is to do a review for the fourth one and do it when it comes out in a timely manner, but there are no promises.